Last but not least is our friend Josh, who was actually supposed to be with us in Naples last year when we got cut short and had to leave because of the hurricane, and he was gracious enough to leave some time for us this year to come back. So we're very grateful that he did. So I'll say a few words that I have here for him. Our facilitator today is one of the top professionals in the field of mental training. He has worked with organizations including Workday, Johnson & Johnson, KPMG, and DocuSign. You might have seen him in the New York Times, Time Magazine, or heard him on Ringer podcasts. He's an avid outdoor athlete, rock climbing, surfing, and paddle boarding. And then he does a lot of recovering from an injury because he still thinks he's 25. I feel your pain. For this conference in June, I was on a brace. So finally, he's one of 1,908 people to receive the 2016 World Series ring from the Chicago Cubs, as he was their director of mental skills program from 2014 to 2019. Josh is the Limitless Minds Director of Coaching and Performance and has worked in the professional sports world for 18 years. A career highlight was helping guide the Chicago Cubs to the World Series as the director of, I've already said that, okay. In addition, he has worked with the University of Georgia, boo. He has used for the University of Alabama, boo. Athletics, and helped the University of Southern California tennis team win 5 national championships as their mental performance coach. Josh has influenced and trained some of the most successful companies in the world, such as Johnson & Johnson, Workday, Amazon, and KPMG, as I mentioned. Welcome, Josh.
Appreciate it, Beth. Appreciate it. I'm good. I got a lab on. What you didn't mention was Florida State. I've worked with Florida State. Do I get even worse? I get no, thank you. I see you. I see you in the back. That's awesome. So what is it worse? I don't know. I don't know if it's worse. Yeah, we're not going to go there. Real quick. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about performance. Okay, and so 4 elements of performance. There's your technical, your tactical, your physical, and then your mental side. All right, and that's what we work on at Limitless Minds. Myself, what I've been doing for 20 years is we work on the mental side of performance. As I was getting ready for this conference today, I was talking to our VP of sales, and he was saying, first of all, that he was really, really jealous because he's an avid golfer. But he applied some of the stuff we're going to talk about today, and he dropped his handicap from 12 to 7. So I'm going to give you that hint later, sooner or later in this. We're going to give you something that helped him drop his handicap from 12 to 7. So cool. Everybody good with that? All right. Awesome. Quick little story. How many of you own something from the company Converse? I got like 7 or 8, maybe some Chuck T's or something like that, right? How many own something from the company Nike? Raise your hand. Yeah, right, perfect. Great little story about these guys. So back, I'm gonna date myself here, but in the late 80s, right? Converse was crushing it. They owned the market on sneakers, especially in the basketball world, right? They had Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, choose your weapon, right? You remember that one? You remember it, right? So, right, and so what was interesting is they were just dominating. Nike was this young upstart company. It was, they were trying to get their feet wet in the basketball world. They had, made shoes of waffle makers. They were running sneakers, all that kind of stuff. There was this company out in Oregon. What the heck are they? Well, as they're realizing they can go a little bit global and international, each company sends a representative to the country of Africa, the continent of Africa, sorry, continent of Africa. And they go there and they want to have a report like, hey, what's this market like? The Converse people call back about 3 months later. They went around to all the different countries. They said, no chance. Nobody wears sneakers here. Everybody's in sandals or in shoes. There's no chance we can do anything in this market. The Nike representative calls back in about 3 months and goes, hey, nobody wears shoes here. This market is ripe. There's so much opportunity here. Oh my gosh. Nike now owns Converse. All right? Attitude matters. How you think matters. And this is what we're going to talk about today, really controlling and understanding our thoughts. I worked with the Chicago Cubs, as was mentioned, from 2014 to 2019. I was lucky enough to be a part of that historic World Series. For those of you who don't know baseball, the Chicago Cubs were known as the lovable what? Losers, right? Because they hadn't won a World Series in 108 years. 108 years. I mean, that's like Teddy Roosevelt time, right? And we were happened to be a part of that front office as we won it. One of the guys I got to talk to was this guy, Ron Sandberg. Anybody know Rhino? Right? He's a Hall of Fame world-class second baseman, amazing guy. And we're in Mesa, Arizona, and we're chatting. I said, Rhino, I'm a mental skills director. What's this mental skills stuff mean to you? And he simply said, get ready to be ready, Lifrak. Get ready to be ready. So that's what we're going to do right now. Before we even dive into this session, last session of the whole freaking conference, we're going to get ready to be ready, okay? The way we're going to do that is we're going to get hype. That's what we do with athletes. We get hype, right? So what is hype? First thing is hello. We just did that. I said hello to everybody. The second thing is your intention. That's the why. What is your intention for this session? Your intention could be anything. It could be check 15 messages on my phone. It could be bored. It could be engaged. It could be open-minded. It could be present. Whatever you want it to be, as long as you decide what your intention is, then there's a chance it's going to come true. Right? Goal setting research says if you write something down, you have a 48% greater chance of it actually coming true than if you don't write it down. So simply writing down. So choose your intention right now. Just choose it right now. Decide how you're going to be in this session. When I talk about being, that's not accomplishing, that's not doing. That's how you want to be. Be engaged, be focused, be energized, be happy, whatever it might be joyful, be calm. Just write it down, decide it, then turn to your partner. That's the person sitting next to you, and tell them what your intention is. So just turn to your partner and tell them what your intention is. That's you guys just launching it. Launch it. Just yell here. You want the microphone? Maybe we can hear you, right? That's awesome, Daniel. All right, beautiful. Tell me some of your intentions. Shout them out to me. What are some of your intentions? Just shout them out. Huh?
Engaged.
Be engaged. Beautiful. What else? What else? I have be engaged. What else? Be open-minded. Beautiful. What else? Give me a couple more. Be focused. Beautiful. Okay. So be attentive. I love it. I love it, right? Here's what's going to happen. In about 8 seconds, those people that said focused and attentive, you're going to get distracted by something. What's going on? Phone? What's that? Right? All good. Here's why. We set our intention. One of the great things about setting an intention is kind of like a lighthouse. It's a beacon. It's a place to come back to. It's the 19th hole, right? It's that place you can return to. So here I am. I've decided I want to be focused. I get distracted. I go, oh, yeah, I'm distracted. Let me get back to being focused. Make sense? Awesome. Okay, cool. So that's your intention. How many of you, just out of curiosity, set an intention every day? A couple of us. Michael, nice, like it. Yeah, Chris, beautiful. A couple of us, right? Setting your intention is a great, like, boom. Want to talk about a 5-second hack? Right? We talk about hacking. Hack everything. Hack it, right? I want to know how to hack the freaking country club memberships, but that's a whole other story. All right, so, right, so. Right, 5 seconds. I take 5 seconds in the morning. I decide how I want to be. I'm probably going to get a big time return on that because now I've set myself up for success. Talk about a mental skill that's really easy to do. Simply just taking that time. I do it every morning when I walk my dog. I live in Sarasota, Florida, just across the way. And I live on a little island in Sarasota. And I have to walk across the bridge with my dog every day because he just won't poop in my neighbor's yard. He has to go across the bridge to do it. So I go across the bridge with him, and when we're coming back, I set my intention for the day. Cool? So just having that moment to set your intention. P, what's P? P is presence. Getting really, really, really right here, right now, being where your feet are. How do we do that as a big group? How do we do that as a big group? We're going to do that as a team. Ready? Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to count down 3, 2, 1. Everybody's going to clap at the same exact time. If one or two, you look like scared about that. She's a woman that she's getting, her intention is to clap on time. Beautiful, good intention, right? So we're going to do 3, 2, 1, and we're all going to clap at the same time. Make sense? If anybody's off, yes, sir. What's the question?
Clapping on 1 or is it 1?
3, 2, 1. I like that, Rob. Getting clear. Getting clear. Rob's on it. He's focused. Ready? So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, it was a little bit off over here. I think a couple came in late. Okay, ready? Let's try it one more time. 3, 2, 1. Give me one more chance. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, did you hear that? Yeah, you heard it, right? She's shaking her head. She's like, that was awesome, right? That's presence. We're going to do a lot of activities in this session. This is not going to be me talking at, it's going to be working with, okay? So we're going to do some activities, and we're going to have some fun. We're going to laugh a little bit. You guys are going to be like, yeah, talking, and I don't want to scream, so I'm just going to say 3, 2, 1, we'll clap, and then we'll come back. Make sense? Awesome. Okay, expectations, we're going to work. When you do the work works on you. When you do the work works on you. We're talking about the mental side. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to dive in, we're going to learn a little bit, we're going to get some education on the mental side, the tools that work, the things that have worked at the pro sport level, that have worked in high corporate environments, things like that. Then you're going to apply it, you're going to feel it, you're going to do some exercises to kind of test your knowledge of it, and then I'll support you through it. Education, application, support. All right, awesome. Off we go. Limitless Minds was founded by this gentleman right here. His name is Trevor Moad. Trev was a good friend of mine. We worked together at IMG Academy over in Bradenton. Anybody been to the Academy? Know about it, right? Yeah, pretty cool place. He and I worked there for about 10 years. Met a ton of different athletes. But one of his great phrases that I loved was this: change is inevitable, growth is optional. Change is inevitable, growth is optional. All right, the more we try and keep things the same, the more they change. And then it's our choice how we handle that. Like I said, my journey began in this mental skills world at this place, IMG Academy. It's also known as the Hogwarts for youth sports. For those of you who haven't been there, every sport under the sun. This is David Ledbetter used to have his academy there. I think he moved it to Orlando though, right, from now. But golf, tennis, basketball, baseball, American football, soccer, lacrosse, track and field, volleyball, and now softball are all at this academy. The kids go to school there from about 9 a.m. to noon, and then they train their sport from about 1 to about 7 o'clock at night. $101,000 a year. If you're from Dubai. If you're from Bradenton, it's a lot cheaper. But that's beside the fact. Okay, so here is this place, and it's really cool because one of the things about it is it was started back in the day by Nick Bollettieri. And Nick started it because he wanted to have a place to train his athletes, and Nick then had 9 different divorces, and so he needed to pay alimony to all these people, so he sold it to a company called IMG. IMG came in and said, hey, listen, this is an amazing place. We can get a lot of pros to come and train here, and we can sign them as agents, and we can get them to come and train here. And so we got to meet, the 10 years I was there, I got to meet everybody and everybody. Kobe Bryant when he was in high school, Thierry Henry from the world of soccer, Michelle Wie when she was just coming up, right? Like Young Golfers Quarter was there, I believe, too. And a lot of different athletes from all sorts of sports. One of my favorite people that I got to spend time with was a woman named Maria Sharapova. And Maria, I had actually come in contact with before I ever got hired there. I was in grad school up in Ithaca, New York. Anybody been to Ithaca in the winter? Right? Makes you move to Florida in a heartbeat. So it was dead of winter, and I'm watching this show, HBO Sports. It's like 60 Minutes, but for sports. And here she is, and they're interviewing this 12-year-old girl, right? And it was Maria, and they're asking her about this other Russian blonde tennis star named Anna Kournikova. You remember Anna Kournikova? She was a model, and she was a tennis player. She was amazing at both. She was world famous, one of the most famous athletes ever. And they asked her, do you want to be the next Anna Kournikova? And she's 12 years old at this time. She looks dead in the camera and goes, no, I'm going to be the first Maria Sharapova. I was like, ooh, I want to learn that. I want to learn that confidence. Right? Talk about confidence, right? Amazing. And as we got to know Maria, we got to talk to her and kind of pick her brain. One of her things was she was really mentally tough. She said she wasn't always that way. One of the things that was really interesting is she was going into the Australian Open final. She said she was super nervous. One of her good friends and mentors is a woman named Billie Jean King, who you've heard of. And Billie Jean simply texted her, and she said, hey, Maria, the way you got to look at the Australian Open finals is you have to realize that pressure is a privilege. Pressure is a privilege, all right? And you think about that. How do we usually view pressure? Bad, why? What does it connotate? What's the thought process about pressure? What does it come up? Stress, frustration, right? Really what it is like pressure is like, oh, we're doing something that matters. We're doing something that's going to have effect on others. Wow, what a privilege. In the world of sports, it's Usually the higher you go, the longer you're in the championship seeds and things of that nature. Then it's, hey, it's a privilege, it's an opportunity, it's a chance to be successful. So I love that. I thought that was a great kind of mental switch in terms of pressure as a privilege. Hey, it's a great way to look at it. As we got to talk to the athletes, the multitude of famous people that came through, one of the things that we started to look for was, what is the commonalities? The ones that are okay versus the ones that are great. And the ones that were great, one of the things that we started to realize is they believed in this, that their thoughts are the drivers of their behaviors and their actions, and thus their results. So let's break this down really quickly. My thoughts, how I think, that's going to drive what I do. What I do is going to get me my results, right? The do something kind of mentality, right? Having action. When you do that, that's where you're going to get your results. You don't get your results by just thinking about them, right? We're not talking about like being like super optimistic. I'm just going to dream of the money falling into my lap and it'll be there. No, that's like, no, that doesn't work, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? It's all on the Instagram. Just think about it. It'll happen. And then you think about it all day. You don't do a darn thing. You don't pick up the phone. You don't make any calls. You don't talk to anybody. And nothing happens, right? So you got to do stuff. You got to do stuff. So to that point, I want you all to experience this. This is our first activity. Dun, dun, dun. Here we go. So first activity. Grab your pen and a piece of paper. You can use the back of the notepad, the back of the packet that we handed out. You can use a notepad, whatever. All we're going to do is we're going to start with the number 1, and you're going to write as many numbers as you can in order. Starting at 1, in order, going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to go for 30 seconds and see how many you can get. Does that make sense? So I worked in baseball, right? I worked in baseball for a number of years, actually seven years of professional baseball, 2 with the New York Mets at the end of my tenure with the Cubs. And, you know, there'd always be that guy in the room. Josh, infinity, I win. Right? Yeah, you win. Infinity is the highest number. However, you didn't really get the understanding of the task at hand, right? So starting at 1, going in order. Don't be like 1, 7, 25, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go in order, 30 seconds on the clock. Make sense? Any questions? Preguntas? Nada? Vámonos. Okay, here we go. Let me get my stopwatch on. This is always the hardest part of the session, is me trying to find my timer. Okay, here we go. 30 seconds on the clock. On your mark, get set, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And stop. Okay, perfect. Stop. And, all right, how many got above 30? Raise your hand if you got above 30. How many got above 40? Oh, anybody get above 50? Anybody get above 50? Nobody got above 50? You guys stink. All right, no, I'm just joking. 45. 45? 45? Awesome, you get this bottle of wine over, no, I'm just kidding. 45 right there. So, that's awesome. That's the highest number. Beautiful. 45. Here's what I want you to do. Take whatever number you got to. If you got to 38, if you got to 42, whatever, write that number. He's hiding his wine from me. He's like, no, he's not taking my wine. Write whatever number you got on the top of the paper and just put a circle around it, okay? Whatever number you got, put a circle around it. Okay. We're going to go round 2, same exact exercise. Round 2, same exact exercise, starting at 1, okay? Same exact exercise, starting at 1, get as many numbers as you can in 30 seconds. On your mark, get set, go. And stop. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, real quick. How many did better the second time than the first time? Just raise your hand. Leave them up. Look around the room. Pretty much everybody. Pretty much everybody. And somebody's pen might have broken, whatever, right? Why? Why did they, well, also too, how many got more than 45? Yeah, right? It's awesome. Anybody get above 50 this time? Woo, sick. Awesome, we got above 50, that's great. Okay, so why did we do better the second time, like significantly better? Why did everybody in this room do better? Why? Okay, everybody at the same time. Okay, wait, go ahead, sorry, why? They adapt to it, okay, sure, absolutely. What do you got, Hannah? You know what's possible? Absolutely, what else? Competition with yourself, competition with, Beth from marketing, whatever, right? Crush her. So yeah, right, all of those things, yes, 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 yes. We have a goal, right? Certainly put a goal, put a big circle around it. But really what happened is, what were you thinking about this exercise the first time I explained it? Why am I writing numbers? I know how to count. What are you talking about? Like, I'm not in kindergarten. What are we doing here? Right? I don't know what's going on here. I'll just try it. We'll see what happens. It's kind of like, right, you have this kind of banal, like, kind of mindset about it. Just like, okay, let's just see what's going on. Second time around, what's our mindset? I'm going to beat what I was going for. I'm going to be more focused this time. I can do better. Here we go. Right? Our thoughts changed. Our behaviors and our actions change. You got a little bit faster. You got a little bit more energized. You're going a little bit faster, right? And then our results change. Thoughts are the drivers of behaviors and results. And thoughts are the drivers of your behaviors and actions, and thus your results, right? So, why does that matter? Why does that matter? Why does it matter what we think? Well, it matters because of this. Jordan Pophank up in Queen's University in Ontario did a study with human beings, and he stuck them in an fMRI machine and took scans of their brains, and he wanted to know the average amount of thoughts a human being has on a day. And what he found out is we have 6,200 separate conscious thoughts a day. 6,200. If you Google how many thoughts do you have in a day, the answer will be between 60 and 80,000. The reason is 70 to 90% of our thoughts are on the subconscious, right? They're on the subconscious. So we're going to have 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day. So if you think about that, what's that mean? We're always talking to ourselves. We're always talking to us. Raise your hand if you're talking to yourself right now. For those of you not raising your hand, what are you saying to yourself? I'm not raising my hand, Josh. I'm not doing it. No chance, buddy. I don't talk to myself. You're out of your mind, right? As you're talking to yourself, right? The interesting thing about it, though, is that most of them lean negative. 75 to 85% of our thoughts typically lean towards the negative. Why would that be? What do you think? Fear, certainly. What else? Uncertainty. Uncertainty? Yes, sir? Yes, yes. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Bam! Saber-tooth tigers. Absolutely, right? It's all about survival. When our DNA was founded, it was back in the times when these animals were roaming the earth. You couldn't call Grubhub back then, right? You had to go out, you had to go kill, you had to go forage, all those types of things. And these animals were roaming the earth. So the natural instinct was for survival. So if I see a blur on the horizon, I'm not going to run over and go, ooh, might be something cool. It's more like, that could hurt me, let me protect myself. What's interesting about that keeps us alive. It helps us survive. It does not help us thrive. All right? And that's a big key. That's a big key. We want to thrive. We don't want to survive. It's kind of boring just to survive. It's awesome to thrive. It's really cool, right? How does this play out in terms of performance? Golf study. This is perfect for y'all. Purdue University. They did a study with golfers. These were the two holes that the golfers got to putt into. This is an optical illusion. Those center circles are exactly the same size. So the circle on the right with the little circles around it, right? That center circle looks bigger or smaller? Bigger. Right? So they had the athletes, they had the golfers, they're putting, 8-foot straight putt, no problem, boom, 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. Crushing it. Same golfers, same hole, different pattern painted around it. Now the hole looks bigger or smaller? Smaller. 3 out of 10, 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10, right? So what was the difference? The perception of the difficulty. Simply just looking at it and deciding, ooh, that looks a little harder, guess what happens? Now we're getting a little tighter, maybe the yips come in, right? Did I say that out loud? Shh, yips, don't say that out loud. Right? Right? And now we're missing these putts, and the tension's there. Only because of perception. Same exact hole. The hole's not any different. Same exact size. Same exact distance. Everything's exactly the same, but now my perception of it's different. So how I'm thinking about it matters. Which is why, at Limitless Minds, we came up with something called the neutral mindset. What is the neutral mindset? Well, the neutral mindset is a thought process that focuses on objective and concrete facts without judging or grading. Without putting that judgment or that grading or that like hard, easy, whatever, it's that pause. And it's interesting, right? Because how many of you have heard just be positive? Just be positive. Everything will work out, just be positive, right? And that's fine, we like optimism, and there's a lot of studies that show that optimism actually works. There's more studies that show that non-negativity works better than optimism. As a matter of fact, they did a study with about 155,000 different patients in hospitals, and they found out that those that were optimistic had a lower score of well-being than those that simply were not negative, right? And if you're not negative, that means you're kind of in the middle, you're neutral. Negativity, on the other hand, right? We know that negativity works. Unfortunately, it works for the negative. So making sure that we're staying in this neutral mindset. Again, so if you think about neutral, here's a good example of neutral. I was just in Indianapolis this morning, actually. I was in Indianapolis this morning, flew down here for this. I'm going to drive across this afternoon. But it was 91 degrees in Indianapolis, okay? I walked outside. It was dry. It was a nice breeze. I was in the shade. I went for a 3-mile run. I was like, this is awesome, right? I live in Florida in the summer, right? So I was like, this is great. Most of the people there, guess what they were saying? It's hot, super hot. Oh my gosh, right? We had different experiences of that. But here's the thing. If I had walked outside in 91 degrees Fahrenheit, even though it was dry and it had a nice breeze, but I went for that run and like a full snowsuit, how long do you think I would have lasted? Probably like a block, right? Maybe a block and a half. And the whole thing is this. Neutral is about being effective or ineffective. It's not about good or bad. That would have been ineffective for me to complete my goal of running 2 miles in the heat, right? So I want to make sure that it doesn't matter. Like 91 is 91. It's not hot, it's not cold. It is what it is. But if I want to wear, I have to wear the appropriate clothing to be successful at it in that weather, right? So that's neutral. Here's your first test with neutral. Okay, what we're gonna, I need a volunteer. Robert, do you mind? Let's go, Robert. Come on, stand up for a second. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna test your ability to stay neutral. Again, we're gonna count. We like counting, Limitless Minds. I'm not sure why, but we love numbers. Okay, all we're gonna do is we're gonna count together. I'm gonna say 1, Robert's gonna say 2, and then I'm gonna say 3. Then he's gonna say 1, I'm gonna say 2, he's gonna say 3, and we're just gonna go back and forth for about 10, 15, 20 seconds, okay?
So it's 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 1,
2,
3,
1,
2,
3,
1,
2,
3. Beautiful, great. Robert, give him a hand. This is awesome. Great job, Robert. All right. Stand up with your partner. Do that. Do that. Stand up with your partner and count to 3 for about 30 seconds. Count to 3 for about 30 seconds. Ready? On your mark, get set, go. All right, awesome. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Stay standing, stay standing. Robert, come on up here. Round 2. Round 2 is this. Uh-oh, did I do something wrong, Beth? What's going on? Okay, she's coming up here. I got worried. HR, right? HR violation already. Oh my gosh. All right, this time, instead of saying 2, Robert's going to clap. So it's going to be 1, clap, 3. 1, clap, 3. Right, back and forth. Ready? 1, 3. No.
Say it again, say it again.
1, clap, 3. And then you say 1, and I clap. Okay, ready? 1, 3.
1, 3.
1, 3. Beautiful, great job. Do it with your friends. Do it with your partners. Yeah, wait, it gets better. I got some somewhere. It's there. Okay, thank you. I don't know. I don't know. We'll be done probably in half an hour, 40 minutes. Yeah. All right, beautiful. Bring it back around. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. All right, beautiful. Robert, come on up. Last round. Last round. Last round. All right, here's your neutral test. We're going to put the 2 back in. So 1, 2, And then instead of saying 3, we're going to shimmy. We're going to do a little dance, all right? So we're going to do a little dance. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2. Yeah! Yeah, Robert. All right, do that. 1, 2, 3. Go for it. Go for it. 1, 2, shimmy. 1, 2, shimmy. Yes. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Come on back in. You guys do one more time. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Just put the numbers back in. Try it one more time. 1, 2, 3. Okay, go for it. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, awesome. Great job, gang. Great job. Give yourself a round of applause. Good job, good job, good job. All right, so that was your first test of neutral. And here's why. Because as soon as I had Robert shimmy, there was a couple of these, right? Raise your hand if you, I don't want to shimmy. It's like, what am I doing? I make putts. What are you talking about, Lifrak? I don't shimmy, right? So it's that first test of neutral, like, and we're gonna hit, like, think about this. We get out of neutral so fast. It happens so quick. But what did we say at the beginning? We said we set an intention because what? It's a lighthouse. It's a place to come back to. You're going to get out of neutral all the time. It's going to happen throughout the day. Our brains are wired to not be neutral. Our brains are wired to be negative. You're fighting against years and years and years of evolutionary history. So it's not whether or not you're not neutral. It's not whether or not you're negative. It's how quickly you get back to neutral to move forward. Does that make sense to everybody? It's about that catching yourself thinking bad and then just shifting it back. Just catch yourself and then shift it back, right? Awesome. So here we go. Next test of neutrality. Let's see how we do on this one, okay? See how we do on this one. Remember, no judgment. No judgment. I'm going to show you a quick little video, okay? It's about 1.5 minutes. It's silent, and it's just kind of like awkward. The room gets silent. We're just like watching a video, and it's like weird. But just bear with it, right? Go through it. And then just tell me what happens afterwards, okay? Afterwards, we're going to pause it, and we're going to ask, hey, what happened? What did you see? What did you see happening in this? Cool? Make sense? Okay, off we go. On your mark, get set, go. Yes, it's working. Perfect. Okay. What did you see? So what did you see? Tell me, what did you see? You saw teamwork. Okay, what else did you see? Yes, that. What else? What else did you see? Somebody stealing my daughter? Okay, what else? I was thinking, somebody is thinking outside the box. What else did we see? Anything? Yeah, that triangle's a jerk. Is that what you said? Yeah, that's great. You used a different word, but we're going to keep PG-13 here to get HR violations on me. It's all good. What else? What else? Anything else? Somebody's pissed? Okay. So interestingly enough, this is called the Heider-Simmel effect. And this was a psychological study done back in the 1930s. And what they found is that people like to create stories. That in our brain, when we watch something and see something happen, we create a story around it. Even if what happened was a circle and a couple triangles circled a square. That's what happened. There was a couple triangles, there was a circle, and they just moved around a screen. And then there was like a box, and the box got broken. That's it. That's all that happened. But what do we quickly do? We start making stories up about it, right? We start putting judgments on it. We got that triangle's an absolute jerk. I would fire that thing and so fast. Freaking triangle. You're not getting a promotion, right? All that, right? And all that stuff's going on in our brain. And that's what we do. We make we create stories so fast. We get out of neutral so fast. It's amazing. We knew, right? What did I say about neutral? No judgment. We just did it like 15 seconds ago. I sure had the definition to you. You failed. All right? But that's what happens. Every time we watch this, 95% of the audience is tell me the same things. Sometimes you're like, woof, let's get you into counseling after this, right? But most of the time, we do, boom, we make up a story about it. We make up a story about it, and we give it truth. What's interesting is this, a couple quick little formulas about success. E plus R equals O. The event plus our response equals the outcome. The event plus our response to the event equals our outcome. Right? There it is. Interestingly enough, how do we get to that response? It's the event plus the story we make up about the event that equals our response. We get to choose we get to write our own stories. One of our coaches at Limitless Minds, he gives everybody a pen at the end of his session because he wants everybody to write their own life. Love that, right? E plus S equals R. The event plus the story we tell about the event equals our response. Event plus response equals our outcome. So, what story are you writing? What story are you writing about the events that happen? And have you taken that step back to take a deep breath and go, let me think about this. Let me take this from a different angle. What's happening? What's really happening in this situation? Right? What are the facts? Neutral. Dealing with concrete, objective facts. What are the facts of this? And then go from there. Does that make sense to everybody? Awesome. So, great, Josh. We love neutral. Phenomenal. How do I get to neutral? How do we get to neutral? Number one way is this. Talk to yourself instead of listen to yourself. We already know we're talking to ourselves a lot in the subconscious. So the more of those thoughts that we can bring up to the surface and be really conscious and purposeful about, right? Do things with purpose, on purpose, do things with purpose, on purpose, then we're going to be able to get to neutral faster. Okay, we're going to do a quick little exercise on this in just a second, but I want to show you a quick little video of this at its absolute finest. This is off of YouTube. It's a young girl, and some of you may have seen it because it is on YouTube. It's got like 17 million views. I don't even know why. Maybe because I've been showing it a lot. But it's a young woman who's on the top of a ski jump, and she's about 8 or 9, and I love kids that age because they don't have any sensor whatsoever. They just say what's going on. And she's just trying to kind of get through this ski jump that she's never done before. It's bigger than she's ever done before. So I want you to pay attention as you're watching this to when she's talking to herself versus when she's listening to herself. Does that make sense? Okay, off we go. Uh-oh. What happened? What happened? Oh my gosh. Kevin, what's going on? You were crushing it, Kevin. Stay neutral, Kevin. Stay neutral. Find it. You got this, buddy. Changing the outputs, all good, right? I know, you guys are like on pins and needles. Everybody's like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen to the little girl? I trust in Kevin. I believe, Kev. You're a pro. You got this, kid. Boom.
I'll be fine.
Have fun.
I'll do it. Well, here goes something, I guess. Oh. Okay, you can do this. I'm gonna jump.
You got it.
Whoa, my ski's slipping off.
Just remember, never snowplow, okay?
No snow plows.
Keep it straight and you'll be fine. Do
Okay.
the same thing you do on the 20.
Straight. Do you go faster on the in run?
Little bit.
A little bit?
Yeah.
Is it any steeper, do you think? Not much?
Same steepness, it's just longer.
Well, just longer. Just longer. Just a bigger 20, that's all.
Yep. Have
It's a
fun.
bigger 20.
Go ahead. You got this.
I got it.
It's fine. You'll be fine.
Okay. Here
The longer you wait, you'll be more scared.
I go. Just the suspense at the top at the first time freaks you out. That's the only thing. It's so fun. Huh? 60 seems like nothing now. Whoa!
It's awesome, right? It's awesome. How many were rooting for? How many were rooting for, right? You wanted her to see. Did you kind of notice when it changed for her, right? Because when she started, what was she like? A little nervous, right? Skis slipping off, focusing on all this other stuff. Did anybody notice when it changed? She got a little coaching. Anybody hear it? What'd you hear? Okay, no worries, no worries. What was the phrase that she used to kind of get over her challenge? It's just a bigger 20? Somebody just said it? Yeah, it's just a bigger 20, right? It's interesting. I've watched this, like 17,000 times, seriously. But one of the things that happens, and it's really interesting, is she's talking to her coach or her dad or whoever's up there with her, and she simply asks, is it any steeper at the bottom, you think? And the dad's like, nah, same steepness, just a little bit longer. Oh, it's just a bigger 20. Boom, it switches. And she goes from listening to herself and all the fear of what could happen, what's bad, all this stuff to, oh, I've done this before, I got this, and now all of a sudden, here I go, poof, and she's off, right? And so here's the question for you. There are things that happen in our life every day that push us into that negativity, that push us into that doubt, that pushes into that anxiety, whatever it might be, right? What can you say to yourself? What's a phrase that you can say to yourself that'll get you through it? If you open up your packets, I think it's on page 3, there's a little section, you can just write that down right now. Say a phrase, what's a phrase that you can say? For me, I'll be completely honest with you, right? I've been suffering from anxiety since I was about 8 years old. And one of the things that I say to myself is I always find a way. I always find a way, right? And then that kind of starts calming me down. Like all this stuff's happened, I don't know what's going on. I always find a way. The other thing that really helps me is get into action. Action is the antidote for anxiety, right? Getting into action, getting things going, doing something to move the wheel forward, that always like settles me, right? So those are a couple things that I say to myself. Action is the antidote to anxiety, and I always find a way. So go ahead and write that down right now. And then the second thing is this. How was she after she finished the ski jump? Euphoric, right? Exhilarated, fired up. Ah, I get the hand. At 60 seems like nothing now. Ah, right? All fired up. On the other side of fear is often exhilaration. So every one of us has our own ski jumps. Every single one of us has our own ski jumps. So I want you to think about what your ski jump is right now. And then if you're open to it, sharing with your partner, that's the person who's just sitting next to you, and just telling them about what's that thing that you're really working hard to achieve, that you're really pushing forward, that maybe you're putting off because it's tough and it's hard, right? And you know once you get through it, it's gonna be awesome, okay? So just take a second and share with your partner what your own personal ski jump is. What is your own personal ski jump right now? Dude, they were giving out watches. You got Apple Watches and like Caymus wine. I came on the wrong day, man. I'm telling you. Dang, bro. This is a no joke conference. All right, awesome. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Boom, we're back. Awesome. All right, next way to get, so now we know, okay, we know what neutral is. We know the thoughts of the drivers and behaviors in action. We know, hey, talk to myself versus listen to myself. Now we got to keep going. What are some other ways that we can get to neutral? Worked with Joe Madden, who was the manager of the Cubs when we won the World Series, and one of his great phrases was, "The process is fearless." The process is fearless, all right? And I love that phrase, and it really, really applies. Does anybody know whose shoes those are? Anybody know whose shoes those are? Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson. Bingo. You guys, nice. You're like young and you got that. That's awesome, right? So Michael Johnson, when I was at IMG Academy, he would come and he would train NFL prospects for the combine. We'd have a lot of players coming in to train for the NFL combine. Probably LaDainian Tomlinson, Eli Manning, right? Guys like this. We had Russell Wilson, Kirk Cousins, right? And they would come in, and one of the things in the NFL combine is you have to run the 40-yard dash, right? And if you're a wide receiver or a position player or even a lineman, you know, if you run that really fast, that's a couple extra $1 million. If you run it really slow, your draft stock falls and you're not going to do so well. So we said, hey, who can teach these guys how to run really fast? Oh, how about the greatest sprinter in the history of the world, 10 straight years, the #1 sprinter in the world, a guy named Michael Johnson. So Michael came in, and it was awesome to spend some time with him because we were asking about the gold shoes. If you guys remember, in the 1996 Olympics in Atlanta, he was trying to do something that no one had ever done before. He was trying to win the 200-meter and the 400-meter dash in the same Olympics. Nobody had ever done that in the history of the Olympics, going back to the Greeks, right? And so here he was trying to do that. And before the Olympics, he went to Nike and he said, I want a pair of gold shoes. We said, Michael, why did you get gold shoes? Because like if you had lost, it would look pretty stupid getting a bronze medal with gold shoes on, right? And he said simply, there was so much noise around the fact that I was trying to do this historic event that I wanted the pressure to just come from me. I wanted to put the pressure on myself. I wanted it to come from me. Love that. Thought that was awesome. Then we talked to him about the events. 400, foregone conclusion, unless like, you know, a sniper shot out his hamstring coming down the home stretch. He was going to win that thing, no problem, right? But the 200 meter, in an event 3 weeks before, he'd actually gotten beat by the guy that was in the lane next to him in the final, right? It was not a foregone conclusion. And so we talked to Michael and said, how did you handle that pressure? Here you were, you know, in front of 1 billion people on TV, 100,000 in the stadium. The guy next to you, in the lane next to you, just beat you. What are you thinking about? And he said, I knew that if I was going to win, it was because it was going to have a great start. My top end speed was better than anybody else in that race, but it was all about getting out fast. So I thought about how to have a great start. He said, so that's all you thought was have a great start? He said, no. I thought 3 things. Keep my head down, pump my arms, and explode. And those are the only 3 things I thought about. Keep my head down, pump my arms, explode. So here I am, I'm in the blocks, I'm getting ready to go, the gun's going up, and all I'm saying to myself is keep my head down, pump my arms, explode. Keep my head down, pump my arms, explode. Boom, gun goes off. He's out like a bullet. 1921, sets the world record, wins the 2nd gold, right? Pretty incredible. But it was all about this process. It was all about, hey, I'm going to focus on these 3 little things that I have complete control of. I am in complete control of them. And when I focus on those things, and I know that they're actions that are going to help me achieve my goal, poof, then I'm not worried about anything else. I'm just worried about executing. And when you execute, you're in action. When you're doing, you're getting results. Okay? So the next thing on your paper is think about your own day. What are the keys to your success? What are the keys to you performing at your highest levels? And write those down in terms of actions. What are the things that I need to do? Maybe it's you meditate 15 minutes in the morning. I meditate every single day, right? It's imperative for me for my success process. Maybe it's you go for a walk. Maybe it's you connect with at least 5 people a day. Whatever it might be, that's your call. You know yourselves better than I do. So just write down whatever you think it is and write down your process. Again, we're doing the work. We're doing the work. I have no clue where the clicker is. I found it. It's in my pocket. It's so loud every time I drink. It's so embarrassing. Everybody's like, what is going on? Yeah, right? It's like a video game on my phone. If you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at? All right, awesome. Awesome. We'll keep on rolling. So the next thing is this. Next kind of understanding is this. We're always going to find what we look for. All right, if you want to look for negative things, you're going to find them. You want to look for positive things, you can probably find those, right? So this is a key element. So I love this, right? I don't know if anybody's seen this FedEx logo. Anybody ever seen the FedEx logo? Arrow in the FedEx logo. Everybody see the arrow in the FedEx logo? All right, it's right in between the E and the X. Second one, Pittsburgh Zoo. How many animals do we got here? How many animals in the Pittsburgh Zoo? What do we got? We got the 2 birds up top, right? We got the 2 fish on the bottom. Then you got the lion and the gorilla. You guys see the lion and the gorilla? Yeah, beautiful. Lion and the gorilla. So we got 6 altogether. Okay, last one. How many Hershey Kisses are on the screen? How many Hershey Kisses are on the screen? Nice. Michael's on top of it. Michael's crushing it today. Get him a bottle of Camus. Right? There's 3. Most of us see the 2 ginormous silver ones, right? What did we see in the FedEx? Where was the arrow? In between the letters. Look between the K and the I. Boom, there's your 3rd kiss. And this one's really interesting. I love this one because it's like how quickly our brain can get fooled. We literally just did something 2 slides ago that showed us, okay, in between stuff, there's, like, you know, always in the background, there's things in, right? And then we're asking how many Hershey Kisses, and now all of a sudden we're not seeing that 3rd little kiss in between the K and the I because we're so focused on the big silver ones, right? Quick little game. Here you go. You got 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Look around the room. Look around the room. Find everything in the room that is red. Find everything in the room that's red. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get your pen. Write down everything that you saw that was red. Write down everything that you saw that was red. Right? So what were you looking for? You were looking for blue. I asked you to write down red. How many of us saw red stuff? Not much. Right? And that's the whole point. We're always going to find what we're looking for. So making sure that you're looking for the right stuff. Let's test this out one more time. In your packet, there's a bunch of numbers. I told you we love numbers at Limitless Minds. There's like a grid. This will be kind of like the second to last thing we do. But it's fun. It's cool. Big grid like this, 0 to 99 on here, 0 to 99. And this was a test that actually, talking about the combine, they used to give guys in the combine. You'd walk in the room and there's, you know, Bill Belichick in the Patriots front office. We're thinking about drafting you. Here's this grid of numbers from 0 to 99. On your mark, it's set, go. You got 45 seconds. Find as many numbers as you can in order, starting at 1. Poof, right? Talk about pressure, right? So that's the kind of stuff they would do to them. So, but I love this because it's a lot of fun. So we're going to do this one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put 30 seconds on the clock. We'll put 30 seconds instead of 45. We'll do 45 on the clock. And what you're going to do is you are simply going to find numbers in order. I'm going to call out a number. It could be any number on there, 0 to 99. And it could be like 3. Say on your marker, set, go, 3. You find 3, then you find 4, then you find 5, and you get as many numbers as you can in 45 seconds. Does that make sense to everybody? All right? Go in order. Again, don't be those baseball guys who are like, circle the whole thing. Got it, Josh, I win. No, you don't. You don't. You're still in AA. Shut up. Right? So, all right, does everybody understand the rules, right? I'm going to call out a number, you find that number, and then you keep on going for 45 seconds. You find the next number in order. Okay? Ready? Here we go. The number is 11. Go. 11. Find 11, then find 12, then find 13, then find 14, and just keep on going. Get as many as you can. Ten seconds left. Pressure's a privilege. 3, 2, 1, and stop. Beautiful. Okay. Count up how many you got. Count up how many you got, and then write that number on the bottom. Did anybody get above 5? Anybody get above 5? Anybody get a 7? 8? 9? 10? Beautiful. What'd you get? 22. Dang, bro. I want some of that Ritalin. You got 11? 14? 22? That's like the highest number I've ever seen. It's amazing. Cool. Awesome. All right. Round two, get with your partner. Get with your partner. Here's what we're going to do on round two. Use a new sheet of paper, flip it over, use a new sheet of paper. Okay, this time, one person is going of the partnership, and one person is simply watching them awkwardly. Just stand there and watch them. Just watch them. Don't say anything. Just watch them silently. Just kind of, you know, yeah, right? Exactly. So just watch them. Stay neutral. Neutral. Okay, here we go. 30 seconds. And then after you're done, then the other person's going to go. So you're just watching. You're not helping. You're not distracting. You're simply just watching. Okay? You do like the high school, my son's taking high school senior photographs. Like, you know, do that one. That's awesome. All right, here we go. 45 seconds on the clock. The number is 83. 83, go. If you get up to 99, just go back to 0 or 1. If you get up to 99, just go to 1. Fifteen seconds left. They're all there. Some of you are like, 83 is not here. They're all there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. And stop. Okay. Pens. Count them up, write it up. Count them up, write them down. Okay. Okay, if you were going, now you get to watch your partner struggle. If you were watching, now you're going. Okay? Gwendolyn, were you watching or going? You were going? Okay, so now you're watching. Beautiful. Okay, so watching, if you were watching, now you're going. If you were going, now you're watching. Okay, the number is 45 seconds on the clock. Number's 45. Why not? 45. Michael Jordan when he came back. Go. 45. 15 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stop. Awesome. Beautiful. Awesome. So good. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. What did you notice happen there? Did anybody notice this? Did anybody kind of catch this? How was it the first time? We're just going, we're doing it, whatever. You're getting what you're getting, right? Now somebody's watching us. What were some of the comments we heard? This is hard, right? What were some of the other comments? Oh, pressure is a privilege, pressure, right? You kind of hear it. And all that changed. It's the same exact exercise, different numbers, different grid, I mean, right? But all that changed was what? Somebody watching us. So what are we doing? What are we worried about?
Making a good impression.
Yeah, making a good impression. We're worried about judgment. Yeah. And guess what? We're not staying. We're not staying neutral, right? We're all focused. And guess where our focus, where's our focus need to be? It needs to be on the grid. Our focus needs to be 45, 45, 46. That's where our focus needs to be. But all of a sudden, now somebody's just sitting there watching us. And alarm bells, like, right? Going off. And so it's really interesting, right? It's really interesting. So this time it's real fun, though, because now we're going to actively distract the person. So third round, last round, flip over the paper. Noel's like bummed. He's like, going to get distracted. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to make it like real life, right? And so what you're going to do this time is one person is going, and the other person is actively distracting, yelling, screaming, clapping, calling out the wrong numbers. Being PG-13, please. PG-13. I worked in sports for a long time. I know how this goes. All right? Yes? What was the question?
Distract him by motivating him?
Sure, you can distract them. Yeah, you can yell at them, clap at them, whatever it is, okay? So one person going, one person actively distracting. The number is 17. Go. 17. Hey! Ignore this. Ignore this. Nothing happening here. What happened, guys? We're not on the golf course. Yell, scream. 45, 18, 73, 65. You're pathetic. It's not ABCs. Let's go. Keep going. Ignore this. Ignore my voice. There's nothing to see here. Ignore this. Ignoring this. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stop, 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 stop. Pencils down, pencils down. Beautiful. Beautiful. Write up whatever number you got. Whatever. How did he do? Did he crush it? He looks exhausted. I think, does he need a water, man? You're like dying over there. Sam's done. Sam's done. He's done. Sam's just up here like, what happened? All right, if you are going, now you are distracting. You get to get some revenge. Now you get to get some revenge. If you are going, now you're distracting. If you are distracting, now you are going. Okay? Here we go. Last round. Last round. The number is, let's go 72. Go, 72. Woo! Ignore this. Nothing to see here. Chicago. Why do you got Chicago on your sweatshirt? That's a good sweatshirt. I like Chicago. Cubbies. Woo! Ignore this. Nothing happening. Come on, Michael. Figure it out. What are we doing? You're laughing with, not at. Laugh with, not at. Here we go. 15 seconds left. Oh my God, it's going so fast. What's happening? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 3, 2, 1, and stop, 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 stop. Beautiful. Great job. Great job. Come on. It's in there. He found it. Beautiful. Beautiful. Awesome. Great job. Team, that was awesome. There was some amazing, amazing, amazing smack talking going on. Some mild insults. It was great. Definitely did not, HR friendly, did not go that way. It was great. The group up here just looked at each other the whole time. They were like, that worked the last time. That's going to be my strategy. It was awesome. It's good. All right. So what happens though, right? What happens? Different environments create different responses. Different environments create different responses. Some of us absolutely crushed it when it was like a library, right? It was like super quiet. You got 22 going on the thing, right? And we're just kind of, okay, super quiet. I can concentrate. I can make my putts. All good to go, right? Now we're getting watched. Oh, I might be getting judged. Different mindset. Some people love that. They're like, yeah, man, watch me. I'm awesome. I kick butt. Here I go. 45, 55, right? They killed it. Some people love the distraction, right? Those are my Starbucks workers. Flip open the laptop at Starbucks, right? Get that distraction going. So different environments, and it's good to know, right? It's good to know for yourself in terms of your own focus. What environment I work best in. Do I work best in that really quiet environment? Do I work best when there's a lot of people around? Do I work best when people are yelling and screaming? Right? It kind of depends. But you can know that, right? That's one of the things that this test tells you. But the whole key is this. You got the mountain climber there, the guy in the yellow, or the woman in the yellow, I'm not sure. But what do you think they're thinking about? This person right here in the yellow. What do you think they're thinking about?
Don't die.
No, they're not thinking about that. First of all, when you don't something, what happens in your mind? Don't think about a pink elephant. My golfer's in here. Don't put it in the water. Where's it go? Water, right? Right? It creates that image in your mind. So this person, I hope, is thinking about where should I put my foot? Right? The next step. Exactly right. The next step. What's the next step? What's the next step? During COVID, I was working for the Mets, and we all got sent home, and we're working from our laptops. And we're trying to communicate with players via Zoom and calling them and texting them and stuff like that. And it was a little bit frustrating, and you'd just be like, man, am I having any impact at all? And I stopped thinking about long term. And I don't know how many of this happened to you guys with COVID, but for me, it made things get really simple. It was like, how do I just win today? How do I just win today? And usually it became a couple of things. Number one was I had to exercise in some way, shape, or form. Number two, I had to connect with others in some way, either via Zoom or my family or whatever. Luckily, we were in Florida. So, I mean, COVID lasted what, like 2 months maybe? Right? It was pretty good. It wasn't bad. I mean, I kind of felt bad for my friends up in New York, but it was what it was. Right? You know, and then, you know, it was like I had to really understand that if I had anything negative happening and I could defeat that, that was a win as well. Right? So that's all it was I just kept it really simple. And I think that one of the things that we do is we complicate our lives a lot. And we forget about just winning today. Yeah, there's this big project, there's big whatever coming up. But if I just win today, I'll get closer to that. And then I just win today again, and then I just win today, and I just win today. And you keep doing that, and then all of a sudden, you're thriving instead of surviving. Right? So here's the last thing. Here's the last thing. What I want you to do is I just want you to turn to your partner, and I want you to tell them one thing that happened in the last 24 hours that was absolutely wonderful. That was great. Tell them one great thing that happened in the last 24 hours. I flew down here this morning, 6 a.m. flight out of Indianapolis. Comfort Plus. Hey, I'm not quite first class status yet. Comfort Plus, middle seat open. It's awesome. Delta. It was absolutely Delta. It was awesome. Right? So, right, that was my one great thing. So it can be small, it can be big, it can be whatever, right? But you guys choose. Tell your partner one great thing that happened to you in the last 24 hours. You can find something. Find one great thing. There's something happened out there. One great thing. All right, beautiful. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. All right, what did you notice? Here we go. We said, hey, find one great thing. What did you notice about your partner? What did you notice about yourself?
Happy.
Smiles, happy. What else? What else about the energy in the room? How was the energy in the room? Good. Rose up, right? Rose up. Attitudes are contagious. Attitudes are contagious, right? How you show up matters. Before I got into the world of sports, I used to work in restaurants in New York City, high-end restaurants in New York City. I mean, we're talking back in the 90s and the early 2000s. This is when like chefs would throw frying pans at your head, right? I had this one manager, and no matter what was happening that day, as soon as I walked in the door, he'd go, change your face. Change your face. Right? Right? I was living in New York. You know, stuff happens, right? So change it, and it was boom. It just, you know, you have to change your face sometimes. So I think as us, as leaders, right, one of the things to note is how we show up is going to be infectious to everybody else on the team. So your attitudes are contagious. And note this. Just note how the energy just changed. We're at the end, man. We're at the end of the conference. This is like hangover day number 4, right? And we're tired, and we've been grinding, and man, and here we are, and the energy's through the roof, right? All because I'm focusing on what's good. I'm focusing on winning. I'm focusing on my partner. Smiles are coming through. It's awesome, right? So before we wrap up, what I would love is we love getting better. You don't get better by accident, right? You don't get better by accident. You get better through feedback. As a matter of fact, in your packets, there's an after-action report. What did I do well? What can I do better? What did I learn? Those are really great things that you can do after any project or anything of that nature. But if you would do me a favor and just take a shot of the little QR code up there, we're like all modern and stuff. And there's like a 5-second quiz, really. I think it's like 5 or 7 questions on there. And just pile through that and just give me some feedback. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. We'll give you a second to do that, and then we'll wrap up. No, we're done. We're done with the numbers. And I was really happy about that, right? Beautiful. Huh? What'd you say? What restaurant? I worked at a restaurant called Babbo. It was run by Mario Batali back in the day. It was That was one of them. Another one was called Veritas on a wine list like this. It was awesome. Okay, when you are done with that, the last thing you can do is you can just kind of think about one key takeaway from today. What's one key thing that you're going to take away and apply to your life? What are some things? What are some things? Just shout them out. What's one thing you're taking away from this session? Stay neutral. What else? Yeah, build neutrality off of facts. What else? Daily intentions. Beautiful. Love it. Right out of the gate. You could have left after like 35 seconds. That's awesome. What do you got? Stay neutral. Beautiful. Beautiful. Anything else back here?
Stay away from big triangles.
Stay away from big triangles. I love it. Yes. Look at things more objectively. Love it. Love it. Awesome. Yeah, those are great stuff. And I think anytime you go through a training, just writing stuff down so you can remember it, huge, huge factor. I'm going to leave you with this. I'm going to leave you with this last little statement. The past is not predictive of the future. The past is not predictive of the future. What is what you do and what you think in the here and now. Okay? Past is not predictive of the future. What you do and think in the here and now is. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for hanging in there. Really appreciate it. Make putts. Make putts. Is that it? Are we done, Beth? You're done. I'm done. Wrap it up. Microphone is, no. One right here. One my left. He's coming. Kevin's coming. Give it up for Kevin. Thank you so much, Kevin, for being here today. Crushing it. Yeah, Kev. Rocked it all week. Killed it.
Yes. Kevin has been a miracle worker the last 2 days, so we do thank him for that. All right, everybody. We made it. Woohoo! The code for this is limitless.
There it is. Hey, I like that. I was wondering if I was going to get a code. I was like, she got excellence. I want excellence.
Yes.
Cool. I'll take limitless. That's awesome.
So limitless.
If you have any questions, I'm going to hang around too, so you just pop up.
Yes, please. Are there any questions that anybody has that they want to ask in front of the group? No? Okay.
Wait, boom. We got a hand up real quick.
Yes.
So quarterbacks predicted, the grid, do we know who's going to be the next great quarterback based on this? Or?
I mean, it's one of the litany of psychological tests these guys take. So, no. Caleb Williams is going to be pretty good. Yeah.
Do you see a difference in some of these young athletes between people who are playing individual sports, like golf or surfing or something, compared to team sports?
Yeah, I think a lot of things, right? So there's so many factors that go into success. I will say this, golf is the toughest mental game, without a doubt, right? We see it all the time, and a lot of my clients are golfers, right? Tennis players, golfers, those individual sports, because they're in their own head a lot, right? So those can be tougher, but there's so many factors, upbringing, right? Those types of things matter, the team they have around them, all that stuff, it really, really impacts it. Oh yeah. Yeah, the research on visualization is through the roof. There was one study done. The biggest thing about visualization is this, is that it fires off the neural network for the body to do what it's supposed to do, right? So there was one of my favorite studies was they did with weightlifting, just like bicep curls, and they had guys and women like, okay, one group, you're going to do bicep curls for 7-8 weeks. Next group, you're not going to do anything. Last group, you're just going to visualize it. The group that visualized got 80% of the growth of the first group, which actually did it. So the things are firing off, right? Crazy, right? Yeah, I mean, things in a resume matter, right? Certainly athletics is going to learn teamwork. That's one of the things I always talk about when people, what about youth sports, right? Oh, the culture of not winning and trophy, whatever on that. The whole thing about youth sports is, hey, I got to learn to be a good teammate. I got to learn how to win. I got to learn how to fail. I got to learn how to work hard. And I got to put my phone down for 2.5 hours. It's awesome. Like youth sports, do it. Yes, go. I have a
question.
Yes, sir.
So what are some of the most advanced things that people are doing to enhance focus and concentration? So let's say that somebody's going through a lot of the basics, intermediate, and what are some of the most advanced techniques that you're doing?
I think the biggest thing for focus and concentration, and I'll speak to kind of my experience in the world of baseball, which is, you're out in front of 45,000 people and you're playing a sport where you're going to fail 7 out of 10 times. And what one of the biggest things was having a really solid routine. That was about letting go of the past, breathing, getting your energies level right, and then boom, focusing on what I had to do versus what I had to don't. And so those 3 things, if you could put those into place, boom, that was pretty advanced. Now do that again and again and again for 115 pitches, every single pitch. That's masterclass, right? That's why those guys are the 0.001% of all athletes. So.
Anybody else? We could sit here all day, couldn't we?
I think so,
Talk
yeah.
about this. But let's not.
We're starting a
thank
podcast. Limitless Minds starting a podcast. Keep your eyes open for it.
you. Will you send it to us so we can send it along to everybody
Of course,
else?
of course, done.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. Really, really,
Thank
really
you.
awesome. Really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Okay, so the code for this was limitless. Thank you so much for being here the last couple of days. Thank you for staying to the end. It really means a lot to see this room 3/4 of the way it was yesterday morning. That means we're doing something right, and we appreciate that. I appreciate that, and thank you. Anybody else have any comments or any questions? Yes.
Thank you for all you've done for the association.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Larry. Don't make me cry. Don't make me cry. Don't make me cry. Tomorrow, for those who are staying for the Spa and Fitness and the membership communications pieces, Spa and Fitness will be in this room. Breakfast will be next door. And the British Ballroom will be the membership and communications, which is right behind us. So breakfast from 8 to 9. We'll get started at 9 for that. We've got 95 people for the Spa and Fitness, and we've got 85 for membership and communications. So this has been a really great conference for us and lots of participation. So participate as much as you can. I can't say the word. It's kind of like memory. But please come to the regional educations. Please support those. And we look forward to seeing you again soon. Be careful going home wherever you're going. And thank you. Appreciate it.